Hey guys, Frax1006 aka Wondermud here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install the folding client in Ubuntu. Now this will work, this install will work whether you're wanting to just fold regular SMP work units, or if you're going to go on and set up the big advanced folding, which I'll cover how to set up the big advanced folding in my next video. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how to set up the folding for SMP work units. You will need to do this in order to get to the big advanced work units as well. And as you can see, I've got a browser open here for overclock.net. This is actually a guide that was put together by Digigami, and I'm going to be using his guide as kind of a using his guide as a guide, a walkthrough on how to set this up. I will post a link to this guide in the notes for the video for you, and I definitely recommend going ahead and pulling this up. He's got the step-by-step guide here. He's got the visuals. I just wanted to make a quick video because I do help a lot of people set this up, and some people have trouble with different parts of it, so I thought maybe just a step-by-step a quick step-by-step video would be helpful. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. And as you can see, I'm running Ubuntu in a virtual machine on my Windows 7 PC. However, you can follow this exact same setup if you're running Ubuntu native. It works exactly the same way. So, alright, so the first thing that we need to do is to go ahead and open up a terminal window, and you can do this by hitting Control-Alt-T as he has noted here, or you can go to Accessories, Terminal. Okay, and then we want to make sure that we are at the home directory, so we're going to go cd/home/ your username. So my username on this virtual machine is Frax1006, and hit enter. Okay. The next step, we're going to make our directory that'll hold our folding info. So that's going to be mkdir space FAH. And then we're going to go into that directory. So cd space FAH. Next, we're going to download the folding client. For this, I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste his code here just because it's a little lengthy. Right, there we go. And when I do that, you see it went ahead and started the download of the folding client. Usually takes just a second. It's a pretty small file. So there you can see it's actually completed. Alright, and now when it downloads, this is the folding client name. Well, we don't want to have to work with a name quite that large, just kind of make it a pain. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename that folding client, or that file. So what we need to do is mv space, and then you do have to type this exactly. So capital, make sure you use your capitals. The terminal window is case sensitive, so if you don't use the capitals, it will not work correctly. Okay. And we're going to change the name of this to FAH6. So you'll just type MV and then that FAH 6.34-Linux64-SMP.exe space FAH6. That's going to change that file name to FAH6. And we need to set the permissions for that file. And that's going to be chmod space plus X FAH6, enter. Alright, and now if you go and you look, if you go to your Places, Home folder, and you'll see here's your FAH folder, and there's the folding client, but we don't want to start that up just yet. We still have some setup steps to go through. Now, just like Digi does in his guide, I'm actually going to go ahead and set up sharing for this as well. And the reason I'm doing this is that if you want to set up HFM either if you're running in a virtual machine like I am and you want to have your HFM running in the Windows native, or if you're going to be running your HFM on a different computer, you do need to be able to share your FAH folder so that can be viewed outside of just the Ubuntu virtual machine, or just outside your Ubuntu machine if you're running native. The way we're going to set up the sharing is just to right click on this folder and go down to sharing options, and when it pops up you'll notice here that it's not checked, so you want to go ahead and check that. And if you've been following my guides on how to set up Ubuntu, you're going to get this pop-up box that's saying that the sharing service is not installed, but we do want to go ahead and get that installed so that we will be able to share this folder on Windows networks. So go ahead and hit install service. It's going to ask for your password. Okay. And it should just take a few moments there, 10-15 seconds, usually doesn't take very long. And it's going to install the software. Alright, and the changes have been applied there. Alright, now it's saying that we do need to restart our session. Now before I do that, let me go ahead and just bookmark Digi's guide here. Alright. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit restart session. And okay. And you know what? I've gotten this every single time I've ever walked through this. I don't know what it is that's running in the background, but I've never run into an issue hitting the log out anyway. So let's go ahead and do that. And here it should log me out. There we go. Alright, and since I am using a virtual machine, when it logs me out, it kicks it back down to that standard size. Okay. And once again, the numlock does not set, or comes unset in Ubuntu. Alright, there we go. So let me go ahead and just embiggen that window again so you guys can see it. Alright. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and do a restart, because when Ubuntu logs out and logs back in, just the setup here drives me insane. So let me do a quick restart. I'm going to pause the video and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay guys, there we go. Alright, so once it comes back up here, we're going to go back into that home folder. Right click on our FAH folder again and hit sharing options. And now when we click share this folder, it is going to allow us to share it. So here you're just going to give it the name that's going to show up on the network as. And since my virtual machine is called Folding 1, I'm going to name this Folding 1 FAH folder. And I always just allow other users to create and delete files and the guest access. This way, you know, the person or my HFM client that's reading this from another computer doesn't have to try to have a login for Ubuntu in order to access this folder. So once I've done that, let's go ahead and hit create share, add the permissions automatically to share it, and you should see something like this. I've seen it show up a few different ways depending on the theme you have set up for your Ubuntu. But you should see something that's indicating that it's being shared. Alright, and so let's go ahead and get Firefox back up here. Go ahead and pull up our guide again, and we're going to scroll down to where we left off, which was right around here. There we go. Alright, now the next step in Digi's guide is going to be this Langauss decoupler. What Langauss does is it allows the folding client to download the next work unit while it's still uploading the completed work unit, or before it uploads the completed work unit. Now this can be really nice if you're running big advanced work units. Those file sizes run a few hundred megabytes, so they can take a while to upload and download. However, I do not use Langoust because I and a couple of other of people on overclock.net that I've spoken with have had some issues with Langoust delaying the upload of their completed work unit, which costs you points if you're folding. So what I tended to see with Langoust is that it would go ahead and download, or once it completed a work unit, it would go ahead and download the next work unit, but then it wouldn't upload the completed work unit until I got to about 5% complete on the new work unit. Now 5%, if you're talking about a 6903 or a 6904 work unit, can be, 5 hours or more. So because of that, I don't run the Langoust decoupler, so I'm actually going to skip that portion of the installation guide. And actually for now, I'm also going to go ahead and skip the core hack, or the core count manipulation that he has here, just so we can get the SMP folding client set up for you. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and set the folding client up so that it will automatically start when Ubuntu boots up. So what we need to do is to open another terminal window. We're going to go to Edit, Profiles, and we're going to do a new profile, and we're going to call this one FAH6 SMP, and we do want to leave it based on the default. Sometimes when you click on here you may see a few different options, but we want to leave that set as default. Go ahead and hit create. Alright, and when it brings you up to this window, you're going to want to go to Title and Command tab. I always like to change this initial title. I'm just going to call it, let's say, Folding Client, and make sure that this says replace initial title. This is just going to make it so that your terminal window that's running your folding client actually shows the name, whatever you put in here. Okay, now the next thing that we want to do is we want to make sure all three of these boxes are checked. So the run as command, the update login records, and run custom command. And then under this custom command, we want to, we're actually going to set the folding client and our folding flags. So you'll type /home/ your username /FAH/FAH6 and then space. And for this guide, we're just going to do the SMP, and then you'll want to put however many cores or threads that you're folding on. So I'm using a 2700K processor, so it's going to be an 8 for me. And then here's where you would add any additional flags that you would need, whether it's going to be the big advanced flag if you're going to be folding big advanced work units, or if you need to set a 1 unit flag or a config only, you would just go here, put a space between your flags, and do, let's say, config only, or your 1 unit. This is where you would set those flags. So once you've got that entered, though, let's go ahead and just hit close, and you'll see it shows up here. Now, anytime you do need to add any flags or remove any flags from your folding client, all you would do is just open up a terminal window, go to Profiles, double click on the FAH6 SMP, go to that title and command, and right there you would change it. Alright, so let's go ahead and close that out. Alright, now the next thing that we want to do is to write our startup script to have the folding client automatically start when Ubuntu boots up. So what we need to do to write that is first off to open a text editor. So let's, in our terminal window, go gedit, E-D-I-T, hit enter. That'll open up a text editor for us. And then this is going to be our script. to auto start for us. So what you can do is you can copy and paste that into your text editor, assuming you've got Digi's guide open. If not, you can copy it exactly as I have it here. It's just sleep space 5 next line cd space slash home slash, and then make sure you do change this to your username, and then slash FAH next line genome GNOME dash terminal TERMINAL space dash dash profile equals FAH6 SMP. Alright, so once you have that, then we want to go ahead and save this in our FAH folder. So go ahead and hit save as, and we're going to make this FAH6 SMP.sh. Do make sure you put the .sh because this is going to be a shell script that we're writing. And then you do want to save it in your FAH folder there. Alright, and then hit save, and then we can close out of that. Now the next thing that we need to do is to add that shell script that we just wrote to our startup file. Alright, and then to add that to our startup, just go up here to System, Preferences, go down to Startup Applications, and then we want to go Add, and we're just going to call this FAH6 SMP, and then we're going to browse for that shell script that we just wrote, so it's going to be in the FAH folder, and you'll just click on it, hit Open, click on Add, and then just check and make sure it did add it. You should see it in that Startup Applications. Okay, and then hit Close, and let's see here. Alright, now I just want to make sure I have, yeah, I do have my config only flag set there because I do want to go ahead and test this out. Okay, close. And then I'm going to go ahead and restart my, I'm going to restart Ubuntu here. And when it restarts, we should see the folding client pop right up there. Alright, and it should take just a few seconds for it to pop up there, and if it doesn't, then that tells us we've got something wrong. So since it's not popping up yet, it's got me a little concerned. Okay, actually I'm going to pause the video for a few seconds here, guys, and just see what's going on with this. Okay, and actually, guys, I did see what I did wrong there. We actually, I forgot to set the permissions on that shell script that we just wrote. So chmod plus x fh6 smp.sh. Oh, helps if I'm in the right folder there. Okay, chmod plus x space fh6 smp.sh. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of this, and I'm going to try that restart again, and we'll see if that works here. Okay, restart. Alright, here we go. It's booting back up. Should take about 5 seconds. Oh, and now we're getting a permission denied error, so let me go and try that again. Okay, guys, well, I did find out what I had done wrong there. Somehow I skipped setting the permissions, or didn't get them set correctly. Point out to you exactly what I mean here. Alright, if we're in the guide, and it was the chmod plus FAH6. So if you do run into that same issue, you would just do chmod plus x FAH6. Actually, you have to be in the right folder first. There we go. Alright, chmod plus x FAH6. Hit enter. And here. Alright, now if we restart again, we should see that terminal pop open here for us. Alright, and while this is rebooting, go. Alright, there we go. Now you see your client opens up there. So all you have to do is just configure your client. Wondermut. See, I fold for overclock. So I believe it's 3. Can't ever remember if it's 37726 or 3. Let me just look it up real quick here. Right, and all right, there we go, and it's 37726. All right, there we go. So, nope, 37726. I'm not going to set up my passkey right now. I'll go in and add that in later. And then just walk through your steps. Ask before sending work. No. Use proxy. No. Since I'm just running normal SMP work units on this, I'm going to leave it just set as normal. Change advanced options. I'm just going to put yes on this just so you guys can see what they are. Core priority level, just leave that as idle. No. Okay, the interval, this is about the only thing that I ever change when I'm looking at, or when I'm running through these advanced steps. And this, there are two ways you can go on it. You can either have it write checkpoints more often or less often. I've never seen it cause any difference in time to go with less often. It's just, or to go with writing them more often. The only thing is it's going to be writing to your hard drive a lot more if you do that. But I always like to set this as 3. That's going to be 3 minutes between checkpoints or between when it actually saves the work, so that if you stop your client at any given point in time, you'll never lose more than 3 minutes. Now, if you are setting this up and you use an SSD, from what I've read, if you're writing a lot to an SSD, that you could cause some degradation. You could cause some degradation of the SSD, or you could cause it to wear out quicker. So you may want to set it higher. But honestly, I always go with 3 minutes on the checkpoints. Megabytes in memory. That's going to use all available memory. So I'm going to just leave that set. The advanced methods, you can also change this if you wanted to automatically set the advanced methods flag. Just set that to yes. And then the rest of these you should just be able to enter through. And there you'll see it's closed out because I did have my config only flag. Now, I was going to re-edit the video to remove all of my errors and mistakes, but I've actually decided I'm going to leave those in there. I spend a lot of time helping people get this set up, and that's part of the reason I made the video. And so I kind of wanted you guys to see, you know, I make these mistakes too when I'm setting it up, but I wanted you guys to see the mistakes and then see how to go about fixing them. Because the errors that I run into, honestly, are some of the most common errors that that I see and that I help people with. So I'm gonna go ahead. I just went ahead and I left those in the video Not solely because I didn't feel like reshooting it, I will admit that's part of it, but because I wanted you guys to see, you know, these are the errors that you come across, these are the things you're going to see, and this is how to fix it. So anyway, that has the folding client set up. Now if you're just going to run the SMP work units, all you need to do is just go to your edit profiles, remove the config only flag, and then restart Ubuntu, and it'll restart and start folding. I'm not going to do that right now because I am going to go ahead and film the video for how to set up the core hack so that you can fold the big advanced, the 6903 and 6904 work units. Also, if you're folding on a 2500K and you want to fold the big advanced work units but not the quote-unquote huge advanced work units, if you want to fold the big advanced but not the 6903 and 6904, I'll be showing you how to do that in my next video as well. So I hope you guys found this informative. I hope it does help you, and as always, like, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or you can find me on overclock.net. Just do a search for Wondermutt. I should be the first and only user to pop up there, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out in any way that I can. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.